Hello there everyone and welcome back to Tune Talk with Andy. Now in today's episode you may notice that my face is kind of red. That's because I fell asleep at my computer yet again, which is quite a reoccurring event, I'd say. But yeah, regardless, today we will be discussing The Congregation by Leprous. Now, you may have noticed in the title, but we actually have a guest. Now this guest you have all seen before, you've all heard from him. It's AGP. How are you, man?
Yeah, it's going well. What else is there to say? I can't wait to talk about Leprous. One of my favorite bands, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. In recent times, same here actually. I'm so happy you decided to randomly introduce me to them. But yeah, let's get right into some information about the band and the album itself. Now, The Congregation is the fourth studio album by the Norwegian progressive metal band Leprous. The album was released 25th of May in 2015 in Europe and the 2nd of June in 2015, and that's actually quite interesting. Some interesting notes there. Do you happen to know why there were different dates?
Hold on. I know. I'm just looking in my head. No.
No, okay. Well, I'm guessing it's just random or
Yeah,
just a bit of a coincidence.
let's just say that.
But yeah, regardless, the lead vocalist is Einar Solberg, who's also on keyboards. You have Tor Oddmund Surke, who's on guitar, and also Øystein Landsverk, who's also on guitar. You've got Simon Berven on bass guitar, and at last, the GOAT himself, Bård Kolstad on drums. Now,
Yes.
I know that you love this man a lot.
Oh, shoutouts to Bård. What a man.
And this album, fun fact, happens to be the first one to feature Bård on the drums, as he replaced Tobias Ørnes Andersen. Just a fun fact that you may have been able to gather if you're Nordic. Me and AGP are both Norwegian, so this band kind of resonates with us on that level. Oh
Yeah,
God, bless you.
I agree.
But yeah, let's get right into the first song.
My lungs punctuate. Yeah, let's get started.
Do you want to go first, or should I?
Yes.
You know what, I'll go first.
Oh, okay.
Right, the first song is called The Prize. I think this is actually quite a solid opening tune for the album. It has great vocals across the tune. The chorus is actually really great, and the hook is catchy. The lyrics themselves are a bit intriguing, though not the strongest. But there's something about I don't know if it's the production or if it's the mixing early on, but the vocals feel kind of suppressed at times. Is this one of the earlier albums? It's the fourth one, right?
This is the fourth one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I really appreciate with Leprous. It's from each album they've progressed with their production and mixing to the point where at least this newest one is almost flawless in that department.
Yeah, so this might just be one of the ones in the middle era where they're kind of upping it a
It's
bit,
also-
but I feel like something was a bit off. That's basically it. But I'm not a huge fan of the bit. I'm not the craziest fan about that. So it drags the overall tune a bit down. Gave it an 8 out of 10. Still a great song, but yeah, there's just these few things that are a bit off in my opinion. Your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I mean, you've basically said a lot of things that, I agree with. I really like the, vocalization, blah, blah, blah. They kind of repeat it a little bit too much, maybe, but
Yeah.
I really like it, though. Yeah, it's an extremely satisfying intro, the drums, the guitar, and the
Yeah.
bass, they marry so well. The snare, they hit perfectly in time with the guitar and the bass. So that intro is just, oh my god, it's so it's eargasm.
Yeah,
That's the best word to
absolutely.
describe
Yeah.
it. Yeah, the vocals really served it well during that part. In the verse, there's a great drum groove I really noticed. So Bård really, doing his best. The chorus is great. I really like the synth sounds they chose overall on this album, but especially on this song too, maybe. I thought the transition into the verse from the chorus was a bit too abrupt. And I really love the muted 16th-ish notes they did on the guitar during the verses. And, I thought it was going maybe into a bridge structure-wise from the chorus, but they went back to the verse, so that was a bit disappointing for me, because I thought they could have maybe developed it a bit more. I gave it a 7.5, so it's still a really good song.
Yeah, that's fair. Great points. Great argument. Can't really disagree with that, to be honest. go on to the next song. Go ahead.
Yeah, so next song is Third Law. That's a weird name. One thing I really noticed on this album is that all the songs have great intros. I really love the gradual build up on the drums on this song. There's a very good riff on this song too, and the drums back the riff very well. The chorus is decent, like nothing special, at least in my opinion. I'm not too sure about the vocal melodies in the verses. I do like the harmonization on the certain words. The drumming by Board on this song is flippin' amazing. I love the bridge and they go back to the chorus in a slightly satisfying way. I give it an 8 out of 10, so it's an improvement on the last song at least.
Interesting. Now, me on the other hand, it seems like we have swapped ratings for these two songs. I put this at a 7 out of 10. I actually think this song has a bit of an iffy opening. It's a bit weird the way, I'm not sure if it's the guitar and drums working together in building that like abrupt kind of kind of thing, but I'm not a huge fan of it. The vocals are solid, it has some nice harmonies that I really appreciate. The hook is strong and the chorus is solid, but lyrically, I feel like the chorus does its job lyrically speaking quite well, but the verses are really underwhelming, and I do feel like the song drags a bit towards the end. I don't know, it's a bit iffy in those aspects. But here comes the thing about the production as well. I feel like something is letting it down a bit. Then again, the song itself is quite solid. So 7 out of 10, not a bad rating by any means. But anyways, on to the next song, Rewind. This song I actually think is kind of the middle ground, I'd say, between the two songs previously mentioned. I put this at a 7.5 out of 10. It has a solid opening with strong vocal runs across the board. It has this really good and interesting instrumental soundscape that just hit me immediately. I really noticed the drumming on this song. I really it was actually so class. The chorus itself is okay, but the hook, goddamn. The lyrics, however, does let it down a bit. And again, the production is a bit iffy at times. At least it feels like that. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Brilliant song, but could be improved upon. Your thoughts?
I actually really like this song. You know, the intro is mysterious, but it's still a fantastic intro with great synth and bass that makes you anxious almost. Yeah. The vocal melodies in the verse is great. I really love it. The chorus is interesting, but you know, it's not like nothing special that, you know, you'll hear of maybe Cole or Pitfalls or Aphelion, so it's fitting to the song, but it's not something I'd, you know, go back if I want to hear a great chorus, you know. The pre-chorus, it gets very intense, excellent vocal delivery, and the screams in this song it's great, it's intense. And the outro is fantastic. I love the outro. It's intense and gut-wrenching. I give this a 9 out of 10.
Wow, fairs.
Yeah.
Next song.
Now, the next song. Speaking of a good chorus, or a fantastic chorus, this is The Flood. The intro is very anxious. Great vocals overall throughout the song, but especially in the verse and the chorus. You know, basically the entire song then, I guess. The chorus is fantastic, and there's a great transition from it. I love the vocalization, and it's a good outro. It's an 8.5 out of 10 for me, at least.
Wow, fair dues. The Flood for me, I feel like this is quite similar to the first song on the album. It's an 8 out of 10. It has a great opening and the instrumentals are strong throughout. I really like the chorus. The song length, I feel like they absolutely nailed that. Sometimes it feels like some other songs will just kind of drag on or they'll just end a bit abrupt, but this song I feel like they fully did it well with the length. It really benefited the song in my opinion. But I would like more of a change of pace throughout with some more vocals as well, because vocals and lyrics are just a huge part of what makes me enjoy a tune.
Yeah.
Because it does take me several listens to be able to identify each instrumental, section. And I don't know, there's just something about when you have those good lyrics that I just find it so much easier to resonate with the song itself. And the emotional factor is what creates 10 out of 10s in my books. So, yeah. An 8 out of 10, still a great rating, but yeah, on to the next song. The next song is a bit of a disappointment in my opinion, but it's still an okay song. It's Triumphant. I gave this a 7 out of 10. It has a funky opening, which is, in my opinion, the best part about the song. It has some solid drumming as well, so I do actually quite like that from Board. The vocals themselves are good, but I find the vocal runs or the vocal lines to be a bit unappealing, and it feels very repetitive with some boring instrumentals, with the exception of the funky opening and the drums overall. I feel like the guitars are a bit dead in my opinion, and the synth could have done a bit better in my books. Yeah, your thoughts?
Yeah, if we're speaking of, very mediocre songs in Prague especially, then Triumphant is, the bottom of the list for me. This song is just not it.
Yeah,
The intro
Fez.
is mediocre. This
Ooh.
song, I feel like I've heard the intro and the riff especially. I've heard that like 10 times before in the album already. I don't need to hear it again. The chorus, it just sounds like the verse. Like, I had to go and look
Yeah.
at the song structure to find out what the chorus was. The chorus is not good. It's not appealing to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything feels extremely abrupt, and there's a very severe lack of cohesion in the song. The vocalization at times is cool. It's a very mediocre song. It's a 6 between a 5.5. It's between that type of range for me.
Okay, fair enough. So if you had to pick one to land on, which would it be?
It's a 6, so yeah.
Okay.
It's not the worst, but this is just, I'll never listen to this song unless I'm listening to the congregation. Speaking of mediocre songs, we have Within My Fence.
No way!
I like the drumming, the riff doesn't really do it for me. There's some interesting moments in the song, nothing special about this, it's a decent chorus, 6.5 for me.
Well, yeah, in my books, this is an 8.5 out of 10. It has an interesting opening with great vocals, the instrumentals are fun, and the ending is just phenomenal in my books. The lyrics, however, are a bit boring, and I do wish the song was a bit longer, but yeah, I really like the song throughout. 8.5 out of 10.
Within My Fence, my god, you're insane.
I liked it, man. But yeah, on to Red. Now, Red is also an 8.5 out of 10, but this one is leaning more towards the 9 mark. But I feel like with time, it could go up there. It has a great opening with solid and clear progression throughout the tune. The vocals are phenomenal. I really like the drumming and the bass, but the guitars does let it down a bit with a bit of an unappealing riff, and it does drag a bit towards the end. But the ending itself, once you reach the ending, it's so good. What are your thoughts?
I really like this song too. It's a great intro. I love the verse. It's an amazing riff in the chorus, in my books at least. The chorus itself is great. I really like the vocal melodies. Now, since you're a bit of a lyrical guy, I'd like to read a couple of lyrics.
Yes,
Because
please.
one of my notes on this is, what the absolute fuck are these lyrics about? Mindful conscience, baseline is sound, making decisions when I'm around. Proud and protected shape of its own, easily altered when red flags are shown. Turning against the inevitable red, confined for what was said. Won't sleep in your bed, follow your Fred. Turning against the inevitable red. Confined for what was said, won't sleep in your bed, follow your Fred. Like, what the fuck does this mean? I'm sorry, but this says nothing to me.
Yeah, to me, this is about someone struggling and someone being in a dark place, and red could probably represent some inner demons and stuff. They feel trapped and they want to break out of that cycle. That's at least how I interpret it. But yeah, I do get that. It's a bit of a weird way of putting it, yeah. But it's experimental, which is something that I do like about some lyrics. Not everyone nails it, but I feel like Leprous did okay here. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a 7.5 for me. Now, on to my favorite song on this album. We have Slave! Oh, I love slaves.
Wait, hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Don't worry, they're getting released in a couple of business days. But, alright.
A couple.
So, this song has a fantastic intro. The transition from Red here is just excellent. It just flows so perfectly. And the vocals are fantastic throughout the song. I actually really like the lyrics on this. Because, I can really see what they were going for, at least my interpretation of it. I'd have to pull up the lyrics myself to get the interpretation, but the drumming on this song is very great. It's a fantastic chorus. I will say though, the live at the Rockefeller version is a lot better.
I'll have to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. The vocals themselves are a lot more impactful and better, at least in my opinion. I mean, it's the first version I heard, so that may be it.
Are the growls better live? Because yeah, I got some notes on that.
Yeah, you know, the screams on this album, I really like them, or growls. I don't even know what the flipping
I
hell
just
to call
classify
them.
them as growls. But
Yeah, I just call them screams. It's
yeah, we
whatever you
both know what
choose,
we
I
mean.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the song has an excellent instrumental break, and the bridge and the screams are great in my books. Because, you know, it really screams of anguish and pain, especially from my interpretation of the song and what
Yeah,
I
okay.
think it is about. I gave this a 9 out of 10.
Ooh, wow.
But I
Okay.
will say the vocals and the screams are better on the live version, at least in my opinion. Might be since it's the first one I heard, you know, but we move.
Okay, okay. Now, we do have quite different opinions here as well. I think Slave, the opening, I actually do agree that it's really good. I find it to be scenic, in fact. And there's something about this song, it kind of speaks to me in a way the others don't. It sort of feels as though it's telling me to move on from whether it's struggles or some sort of stress. It's kind of trying to, like, motivate me to get out of that cycle of struggling. I'm not sure if I worded that right, but I just feel something there that's just speaking to me. I do like the vocals, but I do not like the growls. But yeah, the soundscape is solid. The instrumentals do their job. I do quite like the guitars there.
Yeah!
But the song does drag a bit in my books. But yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Still a good song. But yeah, on to the next one. Moon. This is also another 8 out of 10 actually, in my humble opinion. It has a strong opening with a strong chorus and interesting hook. The lyrics are quite uninteresting, I couldn't care less about them, but the instrumentals and the vocals are just solid all around. It's kind of just another solid Leprous song, to be honest. Not much else to say about it. What's your opinion?
You know, well, it's not the same degree, but you know, in Watershed we had Burden and Lotus Eater. I mean, Heir Apparent and Lotus Eater right after each other. You know, this is kind of that part on the album for me. Slave and Moon, two fantastic songs. Moon gets an 8.5 out of 10 for me. It's an interesting intro. I really like it. The drumming is fantastic on this song, especially. The chorus is great. The vocal melodies too are great. I love the outro. It's excellent. Not much else to say about it. It's just a really, really good song.
Fair enough.
Now, on to Down.
Yeah.
The intro on this song is really good. Just like we had on The Price, the drums, guitar, and bass, they married really well. It's a good verse, good chorus, though personally I feel like I've heard it previously in the album, like the vocal melodies. I don't really know from which song, but I swear to God I've heard it in this album before. Overall, just a solid, good song by Leprous. Great outro, 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, to me, this is just a random mix-up of the two first songs, just bought from Alibaba and then just produced into this shit show of a weird opening. It's really repetitive and boring. And yeah, the vocals are decent and the instrumentals are solid. It's just, it feels like a cheap version of the other two songs that we had way at the top of the album. But yeah, it's a 6.5 out of 10. It's just unappealing to me. I will still listen to it if I'm on the album. It's not one I'd skip, but yeah, it's not one I'd put on either. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, let's see. Now, on to the last song on the album. At least according to my notes, it's Lower. Now, how to put this song? To me, it's okay. Everything about it is just okay, but there's just something about the way it flows and the soundscape itself that gets me to think that this is quite a solid way to end the album. Other than that, I don't really have any more notes on it. It's okay, but it's a good way to end the album. It does the job. 7 out of 10. Your thoughts?
You know, I really think this is a great ending to the album. I think it's a good song to place there. The intro is good. I love the bass on this song, I must say. The drums are introduced well. It's very satisfying to the ears. The chorus is great, like most Leprous songs. Overall, it's a very good song and a great ending to the album. Fantastic vocals. 8 out of 10 for me.
Nice, fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, with all of the notes taken care of and all of the songs having been ranked, what did you get as your total score?
My calculation ended up as 7.8.
Yo.
And I really think that's the perfect score for it, actually. like in between 7.5 and 8 for me. So yeah.
Yo, my man! Mine ended up at 7.6 out of 10.
Oh.
So, yeah, we actually got quite similar ratings there. Though we do have some varying opinions on which songs we prefer, which is something that I feel like is quite common with Leprous. Like, you'll have one half of their demographic that will really love a certain amount of songs. Another demographic will prefer those. And I'm not sure if you noticed that as well, but I just feel like there's something for everyone in Leprous. And I just quite like that.
Everybody should check out Leprous in their lifetime. That's just a
Yes,
fact.
everyone should check out Leprous.
Even just pop enjoyers will love Leprous. I mean, the newest album, everybody will love it if they
Yeah,
listen.
check out Aphelion. It's an amazing album.
Yeah.
And if you like that, check out Pitfalls. And then after that, check out this one.
Just check out their discography.
Just go from A to Z, you know, just go through everything. But yeah, it might take you a while to fully appreciate the vocals. To me, it sounded like he had a potato stuck in his throat at first, but eventually I got to fully appreciate it with the instrumentals backing it up as well. So the vocals are great. It just took me a while to understand them. But yeah, that's basically all we have to say, I reckon. Do you have any more thoughts?
Well, yeah, I do have another section in my notes, actually.
Go
It's
on.
the overall album thoughts.
Yeah, go on.
So yeah, the vocals, just like every single Leprous album, they are fantastic. The drumming on this is fantastic too. The guitar work is really good. It's written to complement the songs. Same goes for the bass, but you know, there's nothing like very special. There's no like gigantic solos. I love the synth choices they made. Some excellent synth moments too, especially at the opening of Slave. The bass does feel a bit too quiet in the mix at times. Like I couldn't really tell where the bass was. I couldn't really hear it unless I turned my volume up to Mars on certain songs at least. Other than that, I really enjoyed the mixing. Some parts of songs sound like each other though. That's a bit of the problem with this. Like, it's a bit hard to maybe identify if you put like if you skip right to the middle or something like that in each song. Like, what song is this?
Yeah, that's fair.
On certain songs at least, so it's a bit hard to tell what song is which at times. This is my fourth favorite Leprous album, actually.
Oh, nice. I guess in due time we might be able to hear some of your thoughts on the other albums. But that will come at a later time. Now, that will be it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. We greatly appreciate you dropping by. If you want to hear more from AGP, drop a freaking like. If you want him to be DDoSed and stuff, give us a comment and we'll help you get that sorted. Anyways, thank you so much
you
and
won't.
goodbye.